final stretch. We have officially saved the best for last. Joining us from Razorfish is Brian Brown, SVP Creative Innovation. This app showcase, Brian is going to show us a little bit about Runway and DALL-E. But a little bit about Brian. Razorfish has been in the industry for 20 years, so he knows quite a bit about this topic. Web3, meta, the metaverse, AR, VR, gaming, consumer AI. One of the things you may not know that was not in his bio is Brian is an esteemed ex-mobile home salesperson in Savannah, Georgia. So anything from sales to AI, he can cover it all. And I'm looking forward to this presentation. Brian.
I sure sound interesting. I hope that turns out to be true. Hey, everybody. Let's see here. We should get a PowerPoint going, right? Here we go. This one, maybe. All right, already going away. Great. I am the immovable object between you and cocktails. I am sorry. I did not choose this time, but here I am. We are going to do something that should be fun. I tried to get cocktails for this session. They said no. Okay, I didn't really press that hard, but I want us all sober because we need to use our brains. We're doing improvised filmmaking right now with DALL-E, GPT, and Runway. So that's me. Hi. Looks the same. I'm the SVP, Executive Creative Director at Razorfish. I've been at Razorfish for a long time. I head up creative innovation. I also head up creative technology. Just a little bit about me. I have been using computers to make art since the late 80s, early 90s. This is my Amiga 500. I went to SVA here in New York. I was big in the Flash scene in the early noughts where I learned ActionScript and how to combine my love of coding with actual design and art. I did a bunch of work for Cartoon Network and Adult Swim in those days, basically doing all their digital experiences for the advertising marketing department. For the last 12 years, I've been at these two companies. Started out Sapient Nitro until we merged with Razorfish, and now I ended up on the Razorfish side, and now I'm here. Okay, skip intro. So I'm here to talk about these two things, DALL-E, ChatGPT, through ChatGPT, and Runway. Fun fact, DALL-E is actually a portmanteau of Salvador Dali's last name and Wall-E, the robot from Pixar. They thought that was a great idea to merge those two things together. This is what DALL-E looked like, DALL-E 1 in January of 2021. A lot of memes, a lot of jokes. The one in the middle is my favorite prompt, Ronald McDonald riding a skateboard. Very early on, I discovered that these models had a hard time distinguishing between a person and the object they were riding, and it was very colorful and made me laugh a lot. A little over a year later, it was looking like this. And I love these two slides because it shows like how fast these things are progressing. Fun fact, these models are the only thing that get better when people try them out. The hype cycle actually improves the model because every time you use ChatGPT, every time you use DALL-E, every time you use any of these tools, you're actually making it better. And so we've got millions and billions of people who are using it, and that's how we got there. Arguably, DALL-E is not the tool that people go to when you've got Stable Diffusion out there, which we just had that wonderful presentation on. It's a very technical tool, very cool, has a ton of capabilities. Midjourney, which we saw a presentation on earlier, also very sleek, very awesome. You might be wondering why the heck you would ever use DALL-E. I've been asked that question. I've got 3 reasons why you might use DALL-E. Reason number 1, it's really easy. So if you're just getting started with generating images in GenAI, DALL-E is a great tool for you to try. Let me just take you through a little bit of example. So DALL-E is incorporated into ChatGPT. And what that means is you can talk to ChatGPT about the images that you're making like you would an art director, right? So you get to be the creative director in this scene and you're having a conversation when you make those images. Here's an example. Okay, make the most realistic image you can. I want it to look like a photograph of a person. You can add all the detail to the prompt you want, but you have to show me the prompt you need. So DALL-E will actually make your prompt better. If you say, show me a bird, it will, in GPT, make a longer prompt that's got a lot more details about that bird before it generates that image, all for you. This is what I got, and it showed me the prompt. I can't read all of this because we got to go, but it's a guy. He looks like a guy. I wouldn't say it looks like a photograph, but he does look like a dude. And so I gave it some feedback, just like I would an art director, except maybe I'd be nicer to a human. It doesn't look real. It looks like an illustration, too plastically, and all the lighting looks fake. Can't you do better? You're right. This doesn't look very good. Maybe you should try Midjourney or Stable Diffusion. Thank you for being passive aggressive, Dolly. But hey, I think we could do better. Number 2, automation. So because this is incorporated into GPT, you can actually tell it to generate a bunch of images for you based on very light programmatic thinking. So another example here, create a reverse image prompt based on this image. So what I've done here is I've taken this image of a print of a number 1, dropped it into GPT and said, look at this image and create a prompt that matches the way that you would make this image if you had to make an image, right? So you can do that with any image that you get. It could be a picture of your uncle, it could be a picture of your dog. It'll return to you the prompt that it would use to make that image based off of what it sees. Commit it to memory. So that's another key word. It has memory within your session. It's like RAM. So you can tell it to remember specific things. It's very helpful as you're talking to this. Cool. I want to create more images in this style. You are a GPT that makes images in this style. I want you to make an image with the numbers 1 through 10 using the prompt style from this image. Keep the style consistent. Make each number simple, flat color design. I gave it a little bit of direction here. No shadows. It has a tendency to want to put shadows and stuff. Make each number a different color. When you're done making an image, go on and make the next one. Don't stop, you'll get to 10. And it made these 10 separate images, right? This is a very simple example of how you might use this. It can get much more complicated if you start thinking about how you can use GPT the way you might think about how you use code. Number 3, you might want to use DALL-E if you want an illustrated look. This is one of the important things. You've gotten demos on a bunch of different GenAI tools here today, from Firefly, Stable Diffusion, now DALL-E, and Midjourney. The thing that you learn when you start using these tools is they're all slightly better at making different types of images, right? And so there's not a one solution to all of this. Once you kind of like start using and you realize I have an image in my head that I want, I can pick the right tool to make that image. And DALL-E is great at making flat, illustrated looking things. So this is an example. This is for another presentation I did. I have this prompt. Show me a medieval fresco of the medieval weavers' riots. Yes, it was a real thing. That includes men holding fabrics and women holding textiles, rioting in the streets, smashing wooden looms, screaming at sheep. Okay, it was a joke in another presentation. That's why it's there. Running in fear, sheep running in fear, in the style of medieval art, medieval illustration. So I got fresco, medieval art, medieval illustration. This is like kind of what I'm going for. This is an actual real piece of art from the 1300s, I think. It's Italian, if I remember. I don't remember who did it. And the first thing I did was go to Midjourney. And again, Midjourney is great if you want something to look like it's out of a Marvel movie. This is what Midjourney returned. It's rather horrific. I don't know that it knows how to make medieval things that don't look like Hieronymus Bosch, with like heads growing out of trees. A lot of people have one eye. This poor gentleman here on the left is having the worst day of his life. I used the exact same prompt in DALL-E and I got this, which isn't perfect. There's definitely some, stuff going on there that in people's spaces is great, but much, much, much closer to what I was looking for. And just to give you, and see the sheep, they're running in fear. They're going to be used for, they used to be used for parchment. We don't need that anymore because we have the printing press and the loom. Anyway, these are some other examples. These are the loom riots. When the loom came to Western Europe, everybody smashed them because they was going to put weavers out of work. This is another example. I wanted Martin Luther nailing his demands to the door of the cathedral in the style of a Soviet revolution poster to talk about the Reformation in a different presentation. And it did that really well. Midjourney is not going to give you a result that looks like this in my experience, at least with the current model. So knowing what the tools can make is like really important. Okay, we're going to skip over to Runway really now. I'm moving fast. It's how I go. Runway is a camera. That's what Runway says when you talk to them. That's what they're interested in making. It is an AI tool, but they see it as the film industry's next camera, right? And if you think about it, if you're an indie filmmaker particularly, like there's a lot of stuff you just can't shoot. You can't shoot a room with 10,000 people in it, right? You've got to use some sort of CGI solution in order to do that. You can't shoot aerial shots flying through trees in the Black Forest. But with Runway, you can make that, right? And so that's really important because this is their brand positioning. Also, it may be worth noting, you might not just be an independent filmmaker, you might be Lionsgate, because they just announced a partnership with Runway just a few weeks ago. What's going to come of that, I don't know, but they're really interested in thinking about how they can incorporate automation into their filmmaking process. I think next up, I have a little quiz for you. I do have a quiz. All right, this is the first interactive portion of the meeting. This is the meeting, right? I'm normally talking in meetings. So I'm going to depend on everybody to respond. The Simpsons came out, the first episode, full episode of The Simpsons came out in 1990, right? It was a fairly shoestring crew. A lot of it was being done by hand. All the animation was being done by hand, and they didn't have a ton of people. If you were to guess, and anyone can just shout an answer, we don't care. We're near cocktail hour. We've been here all damn day. How long does it take to make a single episode of The Simpsons in 1990? I'll give you a hint. The answer is in months, okay? 3 months. I heard 3 months. The answer is 9 months. It took them 9 months to make a single episode, right? So obviously they had all of these going at once, right? Just a reminder of what the intro to episode 1, season 1 of The Simpsons looked like. This is the show that became a okay. So here we are, 37 years later, I think. Episode 750 is what this is the intro from. Now The Simpsons is the cultural phenomenon it is. They've got huge amounts of key fill animators. They've got a ton of technology that they're using. It's digital technology, After Effects. They've probably been using some form of AI to create some pieces of this, even if it's like particles or whatever. AI has been a part of production tools for a long time. How long do you think it takes them to make an episode of The Simpsons now? 6 hours, 11 months. Because they invested all of that time that they got from automation back into the storytelling, back into the show, back into the effects. So this is the intro from episode 750. In the episode 750, they put 750 characters in the intro, right? To celebrate the anniversary. So I will not try to cramp them. So that's the thing that Runway talks about, is the thing that I believe. A lot of what we're doing when it comes to adding automation to things are going to go back into our ability to tell better stories. Another thing on Runway is not just a simple tool that does text to video. Runway is a whole suite of tools. It's a really good bang for your buck when it comes to if you're interested in film creation or video content. It's got lip syncing where you can add AI generated voices to videos and images. It makes our mouth move. You can remove backgrounds. Each one of these is a different tool that I don't have time to go into. Talking about how much better AI video has gotten. I don't know if everybody remembers this. This is from a year ago, Pepperoni Hug Spot. This is when Runway was pretty much first coming out.
Are you ready for best pizza of life? Bring friends down to Pepperoni Hug Spot. Our chefs make pizza with heart and special touch. Cheese, pepperoni, vegetable, and more secret things. Need delivery? Pizzas come fast. Knock, knock, who's there? Pizza magic. Eat Pepperoni Hug Spot pizza. Your tummy say thank you. Your mouth say Pepperoni Hug Spot. It's like family, but with more cheese.
Very funny. Everyone's like, look at this technology, it's so dumb. This is a year later. There's no funny dialogue. I could try, but I'm not going to be able to do much with this. This is what Runway looks like now. This is model Gen 3. Let me just click through this a little bit so you can. Is that possible? Yeah, let's look at some aerial shots. Look how good it's doing faces now. Now they're not eating, which could be like my Ronald McDonald on a skateboard, but this is all AI generated video. And again, people using the tool to make memes actually makes the tool better. This is some other fun stuff, like, again, if you're an independent film company and you're doing a sci-fi film, a lot of your effects could all be generated, right? This is collection stuff. Pretty fun. This is just a high-level overview of what the text to video tool looks like. basically there's a prompt window, just like everything else you've seen. You can type in the prompt. You can also drop in an image and have it make a film from the image, which is what we're going to be doing. This prompt and a dynamic drone fly through of a beautiful mountain range is all we said. And this is what we got, right? Easy peasy. It turns stuff around in 5-second or 10-second intervals. You can extend them if you want to go longer for whatever reason. But this is a beautiful shot. Also, there's this, a man who's talking to a puppet that, sorry, a puppet talking to a man who doesn't want to be talking to a puppet. I just saw this. I don't have the video of it, but his face is so good, right? And this is right out of Runway generation. And it's like this perfect, also it's really funny looking. And I feel like at conferences, I'm either the man or the puppet at any given time. I might be talking to people who don't want to hear me. But yeah, I just thought that was amazing. Okay, I've got some tips, pro tips. Huh? Okay, cool. Structured prompting. So when you're writing prompts for Runway, think about each prompt the way you would describe a shot in a film, right? So start with the actual shot, use cinema terms, wide angle, close up, extreme close up, you get the drift. Subject. So, you don't use the actual name of a person normally. You would say like a man doing Y. Describe the subject. What does the subject look like? What are they up to? What's their position? Then getting into action. This is super important. It sets Runway apart from everything else. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to have this deck for you as a leave behind after so you can have all this stuff. So, nobody has to take pictures of this. You don't even have to listen. So what are they doing? Climbing, swinging, glaring, what's their face doing? Setting, where's it at? What's it look like? And that's style, right? And so I tend to, especially if I'm doing prompting directly in Runway, I use a structure. Wide angle shot of a bearded man wearing a red hat who is climbing into a truck in front of a trop stock in Texas, 1970s VHS, for example, just running through it. This is a DALL-E pro tip. GenID, typed out just like this, GEN_ID. If you're generating images in DALL-E or in ChatGPT, the GenID is the unique identifier of that image. And if you ask GPT for the unique identifier of an image, it will tell you, and then you can use that to make more images just like that image, right? It can infer the style and everything from it. One of the things that you always hear that's really difficult with GenAI is consistency. So here's an example, down shot of a black cat with a purple bow tie. Here's my cat. He's very cute. Next up, give me the GenID of this image. It gives me the string. Show me the prompt that you used to make this image. It returns the prompt. Again, a down shot of a view of a sleek black cat with a purple bow tie, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Next up, I took that exact prompt and changed the word down shot to a different word. Give me extreme close-up of that cat. Same cat. This is the same process used for over the shoulder, medium shot, ground level shot, full body, right? It's always the same cat. That's one of the hardest things to do with GenAI. And when we get to the demo part of this, you're going to see it's still very difficult. It doesn't work all the time. You really have to kind of keep reminding this tool. I always imagine that GPT is a 4-year-old that's got an amazing set of skills, but you also have to it gets distracted and you have to bring it back to the center of the room, like me. Different types of shots. Again, this will be in the deck. We don't have to go through them, but that's the kind of language that we use. Oops. So, how are we doing on time? Oh, kind of right on. Who wants to make a thing? Right now, right? Let's make a thing. All right, we're going to create a story, voiceover script, and images for a storyboard using GPT, and we're going to animate it in Runway. We're going to do this in hopefully 30 minutes. Maybe, hopefully 25. We'll see. This might go badly, right? This is the world of AI right now. Welcome to the world. It doesn't always work. 3 rolls per image max. Max with 7 images. I'd actually break that rule. I'm going to ask you to shout out responses to questions. When I do, please respond because I'll feel bad. And then you have to see me look bad and sad. And nobody wants that. And let's have fun. Whatever. How are we going to do this? So I wrote a script writing routine in GPT, also available in the deck. You guys, when you get the deck at the end of the presentation, if you make it all the way through, you'll have it. But basically, it looks like this. I've changed it since I made this presentation, which was due Monday, and I worked on this until late last night. But basically, it works like this. It's a routine, and it's just kind of the same way of saying a script or code or whatever, but you can just use natural language. Basically, I'm telling it, you're going to give me we're going to go through a story making process. You're going to ask me 5 to 7 questions, each one at a time. Each one you will consider to help me create and define elements of a story, including genre, setting, character, blah, 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 blah. I gave it an example of what a dramatic arc looks like. What are the 5 sets of the dramatic arc I'd be interested in? Again, I'm not going to go through all of this, but this is one big prompt, right? So I will copy this and paste it directly into GPT, and it will give us a program. Visual style, I'm telling it to set style variables. So these are things that I want it to always remember so it can be used consistently across all the images that we make. Aesthetic, main character, secondary character, the nemesis, the lighting, the location, the color palette. I then tell it how it works. You're going to ask me the questions one at a time. There's a moment here too where once we get the questions, we're going to set the look and feel with some images. And then once I agree to all that, we're going to make the story. It's going to write the story, the beats of the story against that 5-step dramatic arc, describe what's in the scene, and give me a runway prompt for every image. And I gave it some commands, and that's basically it. So there's probably, I don't know if there's going to be time for Q&A at the end. You can get me when there's cocktails, that's fine. Or you can just shout out questions, and I will try to answer them. But don't shout out questions to try to confuse me, because this is going to be hard. All right. So here we go. Maybe we have a little bit more than 25 minutes, hopefully. So, end show. Oh, also, I'm going to play music because I work better with music. And, oh, anybody ever want to be a hovering art director? Congratulations. You're all hovering art directors now. All right. Cool. Not my laptop. It's very tiny. Okay, so I got my big prompt right here that I brought into this thing. I'm going to select all, copy it, go right into GPT, paste the whole thing, go. Hopefully the internet works. This is going to be a short thing. Okay, what genre of short film are we making? Is it a horror film? Is it a comedy? Is it a fantasy, drama? Film noir, drama? Anything else? Rom-com, horror. I've got to pick. I'm a creative director. I'm going to go film noir. I haven't tried that one yet. And it's the first one I heard. Oh, also, I'm going to misspell stuff. Sorry, I'm a designer. Film noir. All right, great. Next question. What's the setting of our story? Is it an urban city, small town, dark alley, etc.? See, it's inferring suggestions based off of what I've given it so far, because I gave it the instructions to do that prompt. So where does the story take place? Is it a gritty city? Gritty city, okay. Gritty city, and let's add some more detail here. So gritty city, all way, gritty city at night. Let's make it at night, after a rain. That's a very film noir kind of thing. Near a playground. Let's see, street lamps everywhere. All right, cool. Next question. Awesome, we are in a gritty city. What is the protagonist? So this is where we can get some details about who the main character is. So let's make it up. I'm gonna go, his name is Jake. That's a good film noir name. What is Jake? Is he a detective, a cop, is criminal? CIA operative. A CIA operative named Jake. What does he wear? Trench coat, right? Yeah, trench coat with a fedora. Nice guy. Trench coat with a fedora. He's very tall. Let's just say medium build. Let's say he's got brown hair. And let's give him a scar. That'll be something it'll, let's see, AR on left cheek. Now I'm going to go tell you right now, it's going to mess that up. It's going to mess the scar up, but let's just see what happens. This is for fun. Okay, conflict. What's Jake? So this is a film noir. We got a guy named Jake. He's a CIA operative. What's the problem here? Maybe he's accused for a crime he didn't commit or something like that, right? He's on the lam. He's on the lam. He's being chased by KGB. KGB, right? KGB what? KGB women. Okay. KGB women who, yeah, let's just go with that. We got to keep moving. All right. What's the resolution of the story? He leaves the city in a Hudson Hornet. He becomes Russian. He becomes Russian and gets married to the KGB woman. All right. This is great. I love this. Fantastic. GPT loves it too. Okay, what's the visual style? It's been established. Let's see. Aesthetic. So we want the look and feel to be black and white. Film noir, right? What? Black and white. High contrast. Like a McDonald's commercial. No, sorry. Good idea though. I love the way you think. Anything else? Wet. This should be wet. Neon light. Dim, dramatic lighting. Oh yeah, some fog. That's a good idea. Foggy. Color palette. We got black and white. Time period. Yeah, it's it's film noir. So let's do 1941. Sound good? 1941. Right in the middle of the war. Well, right, but almost we were in the war. Okay. What about the KGB women? What do they look like? Like some big slender, tall, black hair. I'm thinking of Natasha from Rocky and Bullwinkle. Black hair, heavy makeup. Okay. We got to keep going. Rolling. All right. Boom. All right. Now this is the first image, the moment we've all been waiting for. Any questions so far? I could also fill the gap with jokes. I wrote a one-liner joke script too. Okay, here's one. I told my wife she was drawing her eyebrows too high. She looked surprised. I don't know about that. Oh no, it stopped. We don't want that. So what this is doing is generating the overall look. And so what I've done in the script is told it to reference this image in the generation of all the other images. So it'll reference the gen ID of this image when it makes everything else, hopefully. But I will constantly have to remind it because that's just the way it works. Oh, yeah. So the question was, could I upload an image that I have as a reference? Yes, I can. So the way that would work is, oh, this is bad. I would upload an image and then tell it to look at the image and give me a prompt based on the image. And then I would probably have it generate another image based off of that until I got something that I liked. And then tell it to reference that generate. Now of all times. Yeah, I know. This is why I said this could go bad. This is a live demo. I don't want to switch models. Oh boy, this could be a short meeting. It could be all dad jokes from here. Well. Welcome to the life of generating things in GenAI, guys. This is really how it is. I do have, if this for some reason will not generate and fails, and I did test it here on this Wi-Fi, and it worked. Here, let me just say, try that again. Here I am. Here we go. Boop, boop, boop. Completely dead. There you go. That's promising. Is this Ethernet? There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh my gosh. You guys don't know how relieved I am. Hey, let's give GPT, let's give it a hand. It's like very sensitive. Okay. I like that. You guys like that? I like that. Let's go. We got to keep going. That's perfect. You are perfect. All right, great. All right, now let's do Jake. Do it. Okay, let's pop over here real quick to have something else to talk about. So this is, oh, we got Jake. That looks like a Jake. I don't know about the scar. Jake looks great. Show me the prompt. And let's just keep going. I'm not gonna ask it. Keep going. KGB woman next. Show me KGB woman. All right, I'm going to unpack this just for a minute. So I broke everything into steps. So it's a step 1, step 2, step 3. This is really useful when you're doing long prompting because you can reference the steps. It always wants to do this, like rotate her. She looks perfect, even though it's rotated, but it doesn't care. She looks great. All right, I'm going to go ahead. And it's doing the scenes. All right, so yeah, yep. I love this image. I'm going to download it. Great, right in downloads. And then I'm going to switch over to Runway, which is right here. All right, I'm going to go to Runway. I'm going to go to generative video. I'm going to drop this image we just made right in here. And I'm going to say long camera shot of city, street. What do we want to say? Flickering lights. Just to get something. We got 5 seconds. I'm going to tell the generate. I'm going to get 2 of those. Back over here. Is this fun for you? All right. Jake lost his coat. You forgot what Jake looks like. And then I'm going to go back up to, oh my gosh, they switched the wheel. And that's messing with my brain. Boom. Just copy that. Give a little reminder. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, GPT. And let's check over here. We got that going. That looks like there's our boy Jake. Great. Keep going. And what is this scene? So this is Jake is walking down a dark, foggy street, glancing over his shoulder, unaware that he's being followed. Perfect. All right. Download that. Go to Runway. Delete this image. We got Jake here. Drop Jake in here. And just say like zoom in of man walking down, oops, down a city street at night, over shoulder shot. We're going to get 3 of those. Back over here. Now it forgot a part of the routine. Okay, maybe this is another guy, another character. You looks good. Don't forget step 3.5. Step 3.5 is the step where it gives me the runway prompt. Oh, I forgot. Here it is. And so it says over the shoulder shot of a man turning quickly towards source footsteps. The camera zooms in dramatically. We've got another image here. Boom. So I'm going to download this. Go back over here. Delete this. In here. Next image. Drop her in. Pop over here. Stop me if I'm going too fast. Don't stop me. We don't have enough time. I'm going to go and copy this, which is my runway prompt I asked it to generate. Paste it in. Now, again, if I was not trying to do this as fast as possible, I would be scrutinizing all of these, right? This, again, may not be good. It may be totally weird, like Ronald McDonald. But what I'm trying to share with you guys here is anticipation. Don't forget step 3.5. What I'm trying to share with you guys here is if you have a completely empowered creative team that knows how to use all these tools, this is what a creative workflow looks like, right? I've got several things open all at once. I'm doing things all at once. I'm training stuff. I spent a bunch of time making this prompt work as great as I could because I knew that when I do this, I'm probably going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. I'm investing time in the automation part of it rather than just the individual images by themselves. Oh, look, they're on the way to the wedding chapel, maybe. Yay. And that's because in the long run, I'm creating systems that can help do the work for me. And it would be an integrated part of everything that I do. So again, consider this like the development of an animatic. What was the last one we did? Oh man. Yeah, we got a few. We got a few here. Okay. So deleting this, coming in here. This is going backwards, right? I got this guy. Drop him in. Close-up tracking shot of 3 characters standing face to face in the fog. Camera movement, stuff's happening. Generate, generate, generate. And then we got him meeting Russian woman. Copy that. You know what's happening. Find Russian woman meeting. Here we go. Drop it in. Boom. Generate, generate, generate. And I know for a fact I can write these runway prompts better than it's writing them. They usually end up putting stuff in there that runway doesn't care about. But again, for sake of time, we're not going to worry about that. It's not just good, it's good enough. Here we go. Send. Boo. Generate, generate, generate. Okay, what's going on over here now? I think we should be towards the end. Go. All right, so what I did at the end of the script, I just said, generate 10 more images that aren't a part of the story, like that are like establishing features, details, et cetera, that I can use for, oh, there's our playground, that I can use for just additional shots. While that's going, so it's going to generate all 10. Let's go over here and see what we did. All right, starting from the top. We got kind of a morphy car. Oh, someone driving on the sidewalk. That's very fun. This is, okay, there's a bit of that shot that's usable. We're going to take that. So I'm going to download that. Next up. That is not bad. He's walking and not getting anywhere, but isn't that life? Also, there's a Kia Sonata running on the sideway of it. Okay, okay. And all right, we're going to take this one. It's pretty good. Best out of the 3. That's not bad. I'm just looking for like stuff that doesn't look too weird in each of these shots. That's pretty good, I think. Oh, that car is not from the 40s. Neither is that one. Okay, well, we'll do what we can. This one. Oh, I love that shot. Starting to get color. That's okay. Next up. Shaking hands. Yes. Perhaps your country and my country can get along. All right. That's the other, that's an excellent observation. I did one earlier when I was testing this that was like, Jackie on her first day of school, and it was like a school, and on the school it said Jackie. And I was like, wow, wouldn't that feel great? All right. We'll take this one though. Consider it subliminal. There's KGB over there on this side. Now there was a bar here in New York called KGB Bar. We can just pretend it's that. Maybe that's where they're going. Okay, we're gonna skip these. All right, so we've got some usable shots. How are we doing on time? Okay, we got some more here. I'm gonna download this one. This one. This one. Oh, that's a really Natasha looking image there. This one. Oh, we got a nice subway shot. That's cool. Oh, the Brooklyn Bridge. Look at that. And it just did all this on its own. This one's sort of out of palette. I'm gonna skip it. It's a little too icy. This one. And now it gave us a logo and named it No Way Back, which is not bad. I'm gonna tell it, give me the logo in 16:9 because it's the wrong aspect ratio. There's a funny thing that DALL-E does. I think it generates everything in 1:1 and then expands it the way that you can do expands in Photoshop, because weird things always end up on the side. I'll deal with it. And then give me the runway prompts for all of your last images. Okay, I did misspell that. I'm aware. Okay. So let's do this one first. This takes a second. That. Okay. Playground. That in. We're going to do one roll on these, just one, and hope it's not too weird. That one. This one is the city streets. Back over here, empty street corner. This is the prompt. That. Generate. What's next? Wide shot of foggy alley. Very cool. That. This. Foggy alley. Boom. Put that in. What's next? Medium shot of woman standing confidently in the fog. Slow, tense, dramatic contrast. Very good. Is this boring? Okay. You tell me, right? Okay. All right, cool. This is the subway, I think. Train station. Yeah, close enough. Okay. We go, generate. I promise you we'll have a trailer for this film, which was called Back Out of Nowhere or something. That one. The bridge. Yep. Generate. And last. Oh, and by the way, you can have as many generations going as you want. You know, it just costs money. What's this? This is a diner. Diner. Okay, that's good enough. But it does go into a queue. So that. Okay. So let's go back up to the beginning of these final shots. We're going to download that. Download that. Download that. We'll determine how weird these. Okay, I'll play this one. I'm curious about her. Hey, that works. She's not doing anything. She might get run over. I'm concerned for her safety, but she is KGB after all. All right, pretty cool. We got 90% left on this guy. Okay, so You can actually edit these in Runway. Like I said, it's a big suite of tools, but I am not, because the editor tool, which is essentially like a web version of Premiere, is in beta and crashes constantly. And we just ain't got time for that. Okay. Dokey. Okay, dokey, smoky. All right. I feel like that's not enough images. Missing some stuff. Download this. Download the diner. That's it. Okay. One more thing. We want it to do animate. Where's the logo? We gotta get the logo. No Way Back by Archik Retto in 16:9. Stunning 16:9. Okay, and then we had some music somewhere here, right? Yep, that's right. Music. Surprise, we're going to Udio. Udio is an AI that generates music. It is stunningly good most of the time, and it does lyrics. If you're hearing any AI generated stuff online, it's either Udio or Sona, I think, but I prefer Udio. So slow, jazzy tune, melodic feel, soft picture, saxophone, deep upright bass, blah, 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 blah. Make me that. Oh, did I put instrumental? Guess we'll find out. All right. Back to iMovie. I like this establishing shot. I like it starting here. Is it Command Option P? Nope. Command 50. Nope. Nope. Forgot the split was. Okay. Oh, just Command B. That's easy. All right. So we got that. What else we got? Jake walking down the street. Yep. So I'm just assembling these. What comes next after Jake walking down the street? I think more city stuff, right? Or maybe even before. Like, I like just establishing the world a little bit. And maybe we'll do the creepy playground. I like the creepy playground. We'll do that before the car. Jake walking down the street. I like her right at this moment. We're just gonna take that bit right there. Drop her in. Bridge, the diner. Some people. We had the ones with the people. Oh yeah, this is a great shot right here. We'll take this guy. Just like the head turn. We want to get that. Very dynamic. Whoop. Go. Let's drop him in there. Zoom out a little. Okay. Gritty. Now, if I had a little more time, I would also do a VO to this, which was a part of the routine, and do it in something, because this feels very like natural for there to be a VO as a noir film in the voice of Jake talking about this. But, you know, always more time later. And then we end up with them, yeah, walking down the street. The end. Let's drop it there. Did the diner. We don't have the diner in there. Yeah, the diner goes here. Okay. And oh, them shaking hands. Weirdly shaking hands. Awkward. Yeah. Like, I agree to marry you. Let's shake on it. All right. I have sound here, right? I do. Hopefully it's not too loud. Let's see what happened here. Not bad. Yeah, that's better. I agree. I agree. All right, let's download this. And we're going to download it as MP3. And we're going to go here. And hopefully we can find it. MP3. Oh, download. There you go. This isn't my computer. And that and that in here. All right, this might not be perfect, but. Oh, wait, we need the logo. We can't end it without the logo, guys. How will you know what you're going to watch? You're watching No Way Back in Arc Reto. Yes, back here. And the logo's cool too because it will actually animate the logo, which is surprising and nice. There we go. Let's see. Logo. Oops, don't crash on me now. Not in front of everybody. Logo animation of 40s film. Let's just do that. Okay, questions? Yes. So the images generated in DALL-E are, so OpenAI indemnifies the usage of any creative done in their tool if you are a user of DALL-E. And that means like they say, we don't own it, you don't own it. If you get sued because Jake looks like somebody's Uncle Barry, like they will basically cover that suit. Who owns it is actually a much bigger question that a lot of people are still talking about. Yeah. Very unlikely, but that is, again, it's a thing that's in litigation right now. They're trying to, maybe that's not the right word. I'm not a lawyer person, but there's a lot of people talking about that, trying to figure all that stuff out. I think the Lionsgate thing is really going to push the industry to kind of figure this stuff out, because once big studios start using it as a part of their movies, all that stuff is going to have to be solved. So, and again, this demonstration is really to show like animatics. Okay, more questions?
I was just gonna ladder onto that. If no one specifically owns it, who can use it and profit from it? Maybe is another way to think about it.
Well, it can be used. So it can be used for commercial purposes, right? Again, Runway has it. I'm not sure who asked the question. I'm like, oh, there you are. It came from that speaker. Yeah, so it can be used. It's really a question of, again, figuring out, because AI is still such a brand new thing, figuring out the ownership of it. And I think it might even be a case-by-case basis, to be honest, like right now. So like you can IP bomb something. Like if we made a background video here of like the city and we put a Kia in the middle of it, that was a 3D model of a Kia, that's a different conversation about who owns the rights to that scene than it would be if it was just a character that was generated like we just did right now.
Cars to be used for other people's creative stuff, because man, I would love to have my car.
Yeah. That actually is a very interesting question, and I don't see why it could not be the case. If you guys are here for the Stable Diffusion conversation, they touch briefly on LoRa's, which are like micro models that sit on top of models. It's more complicated than that, but it's an easy way to think about it. You could certainly build a Kia LoRa if you were Kia, just using it as an example, to be able to accomplish that. So technically it's possible. If they want to actually do that and what people will do with that and lose control over it, then that's another one. Let's watch your film real quick. I didn't set the this summer, No Way Back. So again, that was how long was that? That was 30 minutes. We did that in 30 minutes. So is it perfect? No, but it is something. Think what would happen if you spent an hour on something. Oh, I do have another slide, but I think it just says maybe something you guys been waiting for. Let's do, boop. What did we learn? We learned we can make a thing in 30 minutes. Hopefully we learned some of the basic features of the tools, and I really encourage everybody to go out and try Runway. Again, it's relatively low cost to get started. There's a bunch of things you can do. I'm using image to video for all of this because I wanted to incorporate DALL-E into the flow to show you guys what it looks like, but you can prompt right in Runway and it creates amazing looking videos right with nothing else. Remember, any significantly advanced technological is indistinguishable from magic. That felt fairly magical for us to co-create that little trailer here this afternoon. And there's a QR code with the link to download a redacted version of this deck, which has the prompt in it. So you guys can see how I built that and start playing with making your own prompts. And then, yeah. All right.
Round of applause. That was great. That was fantastic. For any of you who have used ChatGPT and the incorporation of DALL-E, those prompts and those examples were really good ideas and themes to be able to see how it goes from something to in one application to another. I just wonder how long it's going to take before they get much better, and rather than dragging, dropping, downloading, and moving, that it becomes part of a more natural workflow. So I suspect that's probably pretty close on the horizon. That is it for this session. You are free to go to cocktails, which are right outside these doors. I encourage you to at least meet one or two more people than you've had today. And that will be the end of the conference for today. Tomorrow, starting bright and early, yet again, off we go. Thank you, everyone.